We're debunking half-ass theories for full-ass ones. Today, we're going to be debunking a Earth tides theory. So let's listen to what they got and let's come up with our own half-ass theory from a physics perspective.
Just let me have your attention for about 2.5 minutes, and I'll prove to you that the Earth's tides could not possibly be caused by the moon rotating around our globe. According to the mainstream model, the moon is spinning around the Earth, and the moon's gravitational pull is pulling the water and causing the tides. And you could say that makes sense if every single body of water was affected by this, but your bathtub doesn't have a tide. There's all of these bodies of water, lakes, rivers that don't have tides.
Okay, now this is the first part where this is half-assed. So there is a basic assumption that if the moon is causing a tide on one part of the body of water, that it has to do it everywhere. And so for those who might not know, a tide is basically increasing of water in the height during certain times and then decreasing. You'll see this in the image as it moves along. But there's a basic assumption here that if I have a little glass of water, that the moon is above me, somehow this thing should have the water rising. And there's a messed up fallacy right here in the assumption that this stuff just magically appears out of nowhere. It's not. So when the moon is right here, the theory is it's closer to this part of the Earth, so it's actually pulling up water from here. And exactly like you said, it happens on some bodies of water, but not all of them. So if water is getting pulled this way, what has to happen? It has to have decrease of water somewhere else. And so, if in your imaginary cup of water, your bathtub, certain lakes, as this guy was saying, if you had water get pulled up, where the hell is this other water going to come from? Where? Versus if you have, say, we make Earth flat, and we pull water up from here, it's going to be decreasing it over here. You're going to have a lower water level over here. This could be like this part of the Earth on these sides. And that's the basic theory where this guy has it twisted. If he corrected that, I'd be like, all right, maybe let's see what else you got.
And the only bodies of water that have tides are the ones that are directly connected to large oceans.
Because you need water to come from one place to another.
Or the large oceans themselves. Like if you were to go to the Bering Sea, the tides are all over the place.
Because they have a lot of water to draw from.
Because the ocean currents are so strong. So they don't even match the moon's position most of the time. And if you were to go over to the Mediterranean Sea virtually has no tide. But why is that?
This is interesting. Because it just made me think, oh shoot, well where did this draw? Maybe there would be a small effect. We don't see it as prominent. But once he moves over to the Gibraltar Strait, you'll see that there's only one channel for water to move through. And he does say that there are tides there, which still kind of aligns with this theory. So it's not to say that the modern theory is debunked.
Well, that's because it's hardly connected to the outer oceans.
Which would be where you draw water from.
So how is the tide affected by the moon if such a large body of water like the Mediterranean Sea, it only gets its tides from the Gibraltar Strait?
Which is right here, and that's where it would be pulling the water from. It'd be like having a small little hole here, and if you start pulling and sucking on all this water, it would have to flow through there. It'd be very difficult. I might try to do a test like this with a little straw and demonstrate at some point.
Great. And then if you go a little bit over, the Black Sea has been known to be the sea with no tides.
Because again, there's nowhere to draw water.
That's because it's not affecting it. So the North Pole, which we cannot go to,
and I've never been there. I'm not gonna claim it's this or not, but like, what the, bro? He's just gonna drop that you can't go there.
Apparently, has 4 rivers that come out of it,
and so he says this is a bunk idea because it doesn't explain this one part, and he's gonna come up with a whole ass other freaking theory. Bro, this is a quarter-ass theory, bro. Just half cheek.
And that is the source of the tides, because it vortexes in and vortexes out. almost like a heart pumping. It's like the heart of the earth pumping the water in and out. So that's why if you go to the
And I would ask, where does that come from? So now you're just creating a whole other theory without other backing.
northern seas like the Bering Sea, it's so strong and so catastrophic. That's why so many people die when they go crabbing out there. Because it's literally right near the source of the oceans.
And when it's pointing in those directions, the moon is a lot stronger in those locations. The pull and the draw
Tides.
of water.
But then if you go to a little body of water, there's no tide because
Because there's nothing for it to draw on.
it's not connected to the Earth's heart system.
Let me just say this real quick. If you have a straw, you put this thing in a cup of water, and normally it'll sit flush. If you suck up water, it'll lose some right here. It'll go down right here. Now, if you have that same straw and you try it, go home. You try it. Put this in water. Cap the bottom end and try to suck. Tell me how much water moves up. If you don't have anything to draw up from, you're not going to get anywhere.
But of course, the moon causes the tides, right? Entertainment only.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Everybody speculate with what you want. This is my somewhat speculation, but I've seen it done the math with it. I'll do the math if people are actually interested in it, but no one's gonna watch that. I'd like to know what you think. Write down your other crazy theories out there. I'll talk about them. I don't mind. So this is Bard of Art dropping out with a half-ass theory for a full one, hitting you with the Bard of Fart. Oh.